Hey everyone, Marty here from 506 Side-by-Side ATV. So I thought I'd do a little video of the last project I did. My previous video, I built this rack. There'll be a link for that. So in my quest for extra room in here, I decided to look for a tailgate extender. Well, again, they were pretty expensive. And I figured, well, I can build something like that. So what I came up with, and we wanted something that we could easily remove. Pop in, pop out. What I came up with was this. Relatively light, maybe with 1 inch tubing, and it'll go in, go out, pretty simple. So originally I wanted to just do it in one motion, but that didn't work. So our little latch here, if it was in one motion, it hits right there. It wouldn't go in because of the arc that it makes. So I had to make these so they swivel. It's not a big deal, but anyway, it works. We'll just put that in. Make sure those goes in the locks. Press them down. Of course, tighten these up, one on each side. You didn't see it, but I've got a little spacer here that goes between the tailgate and the back of the side-by-side. Just going to squish that in there. I'll have a little picture of it. What that does is it takes away some rattles. I'm kind of allergic to rattles. This side of the tailgate is where you would take it off, so it has the little groove. So it makes a little bit of movement. So what I did inside, I put a tie wrap around it so it wouldn't pop out, and then I put that little spacer in. And that takes up the little rattle. So, as you can see, pretty basic. Stays there. Went in pretty easy. Comes out just as easy. Pretty good. Just loosen those up. Pull your handle, and it comes right out. Here's your little spacer that I put in there. Just keep it tie wrapped there, and then you can do what you want with it. Again, put it back in again. Lock them in, tighten them up, a little spacer in, and pretty tight. Now, we haven't really tried it out yet, so don't know how it's really going to last. I'm going to go for a ride here in a few days and give it a test. We'll have a little update on that ride, see how it works out. But I think it's going to be pretty good. Oh yes, the other thing, I almost forgot. I got a net. Take the net. Hook the net up. And if you guys stay till the end of the video, I have a couple tips of what I do when I'm building on a project like this. So if you keep watching, you'll have a little bit of a tip. Make it tight pretty quick. There, not much is going to fly out. If you guys need to tie stuff down, you can still do that too. Anyway, I think it works pretty good. We'll find out. Anyway, text out, keep watching, and we'll have coming up with a little tip. Okay folks, so I promise you a little tip here what I do when I'm working on projects like this, especially a lot of these I'm cutting freehand. I'm not using a cut-off saw, so I'm just using a grinder and a cutting disc. So I find if you're using that and you're trying to make straight lines, you use a marker or soapstone marker. They make quite a wide line. So when you're doing that, you can cut it and you can make it work. And most of the time it does, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. What I find is if I use a scribe and I make a nice fine line on there, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a nice fine line right there. It's really easy to make a nice straight even cut. So that's tip number one. Try it out. Use a scribe instead of a marker or a soapstone. The other tip is when I'm cutting a piece of tubing like this freehand, and I'll do it with marker instead of that so you can see better. If I mark it around, and I keep going around to make it a cut, so I can cut it with a grinder and a cut-off saw or disc. A lot of times, as you can see there, it comes out just a little tiny bit off, just a little bit, so you never really get a good square cut. So what I find helps me is if I go across the top first, and then I do my two sides, when I go across the bottom, it generally comes out pretty accurate. So anyway, that's the tip I use. Works for me. Hopefully it'll help somebody out. If you guys have a tip or a better idea, you can always use a cut-off saw. I guess that works too. But when you got to cut freehand, those are a couple tips that I find work for me. Anyway. And another little tip that maybe people don't think about when they're trying to build something or where they're going to get metal. I've got a couple of, or three of these actually, that I got from scrapyard, some kind of old gate or something. Anyway, that's what I built that rack out of. Those gates, or whatever they are, and other little bits of scrap metal, I think it cost me like $15, so there's not a lot of money tied up into that. In fact, those little stickers cost more than building that rack. So, good little tip if you're looking to build something, go to your local scrapyard, see what they've got first before you go spend money on expensive stuff. Anyway, thanks now, bye.